immediate attainment of non-retrogression. In teaching practice and realization, Shinran seeks to place the teaching of birth through the Nembutsu firmly within the Mahayana tradition. In the chapter on Shinjin, this is accomplished by outlining the significance of realization of Shinjin for the practicer. He enumerates, for example, quote, 10 benefits in the present life, close quote, received by the person of Shinjin, including being protected and praised by all the Buddhas. Of particular importance, however, is the 10th of these benefits, the attainment of the stage of non-retrogression. The basic attestant passage for this is found, again, in the fulfillment passage. People who hear the name and realize Shinjin, quote, then, that is immediately, attain birth and dwell in the stage of non-retrogression, close quote. In the Mahayana tradition, persons who have attained the stage of non-retrogression will never fall back on their advance to perfect enlightenment, even though they continue to live in the world of samsara, for they have already realized suchness. For Shinran, the person who realizes Shinjin immediately attains non-retrogression, for Shinjin is the mind of the Buddha, and because of that realization, the person will necessarily attain birth, that is, perfect enlightenment. Shinran states that, quote, transcending crosswise is the true teaching based on the fulfillment of the vow, close quote, and employs this term in the sense of immediately attaining the stage of non-retrogression upon realization of Shinjin in one thought moment. In this way, he is able to show the place and the significance of this concept in the Pure Land teaching, that is, the mind of enlightenment, quote, characterized by transcending crosswise is Shinjin, close quote, that is directed to beings through the power of the vow. Further, Shinran asserts that the person of Shinjin, because of this crosswise transcendence, is the authentic disciple of the Buddhas. He says, quote, true disciple of Buddha refers to the practicer who has realized the diamond-like heart and mind. Through this Shinjin and practice, one will without fail transcend and realize great nirvana. Hence, one is called true disciple of Buddha, close quote. Moreover, this person is the equal of the great Bodhisattva Maitreya, who is destined to become the next Buddha to appear in this world, for at the moment of death the person of Shinjin unfailingly realizes nirvana. Moreover, because Shinjin enables beings to transcend crosswise the world of samsara and attain nirvana, persons in whom it is realized are the true companions of Sakyamuni, and the Buddhas of the 10 quarters always watch over them. After having explained in the chapter on Shinjin up to this point that persons who have realized Shinjin embody the fulfillment of the Mahayana way, that they will unfailingly attain highest enlightenment, that they are praised and protected by all the Buddhas, that they are the equal of Bodhisattva Maitreya, Shinran expresses his sorrow that fierce attachments prevent him from rejoicing at any of this. As he states elsewhere, quote, our desires are countless, and anger, wrath, jealousy, and envy are overwhelming, arising without pause. To the very last moment of life, they do not cease or disappear or exhaust themselves, close quote. The person of Shinjin is the true disciple of Buddha, and yet, at the same time, is filled with the basest of self-attachments. These two contradictory aspects of Shinran's religious awakening are clearly set forth in Shantao's discussion of deep or deeply entrusting mind. Quote, there are 2 aspects. One is to believe deeply and decidedly that you are a foolish being of karmic evil caught in birth and death. The second is to believe deeply and decidedly that Amida Buddha's 48 vows grasp sentient beings. Close quote. Amida awakened his vow out of compassion for beings who altogether lack any goodness that might lead to emancipation. Thus, to become one for whom the vow is intended is to become a being of evil, that is, one who has awakened to the karmic evil at the roots of one's existence. The mind with which one entrusts oneself to Amida's vow is the mind of Amida, and it is precisely with this true and real mind that one is able for the first time to realize one's own nature as being possessed of blind passions. Thus, the two aspects of deep mind are inseparable. It is not that one entrusts oneself to the Buddha because one's own powers are inadequate for attaining enlightenment. Rather, genuine entrusting and self-awareness arise together as phases of a single religious awakening. Thus, the true disciple of Buddha who rejoices at his necessary attainment of enlightenment is also inevitably the being pervasively aware of his heavy burden of karmic evil. Such an understanding reflects exactly the two inseparable aspects of Shinjin: awareness of the immensity of the Buddha's compassion and awareness of one's own profound evil.